WJLA 24/7 News. We begin with a breaking news alert.
We are approaching the 24-hour mark since Saturday's assassination attempt on former President Trump in Pennsylvania. In that time, we've been working around the clock, gathering new information about the shooter, the investigation, and the man killed at the rally, and what all of this means for you as voters and as residents. We have team coverage tonight, bringing you the latest information that is just into our newsroom. Liana Golden is live at the White House. But let's start with the new details about the shooter. The gunfire erupting just minutes into Donald Trump's speech. The person accused of pulling the trigger has been identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Our colleagues at ABC News obtained this screenshot from a high school graduation ceremony showing Crooks receiving his diploma. Law enforcement has also revealed that they found bomb-making materials in Crooks' car and his home. This is video taken just this morning from the block where Crooks lived. He was fatally shot by Secret Service agents during the chaos. Now, investigators say Crooks shot at former President Trump from a nearby rooftop outside of the rally security perimeter. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer pledges a full investigation into the Secret Service and security apparatus around the former president. Leaders are calling for a transparent investigation. Now, you can see in this map where the gunman was positioned. Several witnesses claim that they saw that suspect climbing to the roof and even alerted law enforcement. But Trump was not removed from the stage before gunfire started. Officials at the White House are also reacting to this assassination attempt. Security measures are being enhanced even as President Biden is speaking out and trying to calm the mood of the country. 7 News' Liana Golden is live at Lafayette Park. And Liana, what is the latest?
Yeah, Carl, you can certainly feel the uptick in security in and around the White House, all in this area. We're seeing more Capitol Police officers as well as Metropolitan Police officers stationed and patrolling in this area. So let's bring you to some video of what those protective measures look like here. The Secret Service has expanded the perimeter from 15th to 17th and H to Constitution. There is no pedestrian access to the Ellipse, Pennsylvania Avenue, or Lafayette Park right behind me here. This is where we were last night in the hours just after the shooting. It was a much similar scene. Barricades here blocking off the public from going too close, and you can see the fences and signage which have all gone up, alerting the public of these boundaries as well. ABC News is also reporting that President Biden and former President Trump are urging their staffers to avoid coming into their D.C. campaign offices out of an abundance of caution. So let's talk about the president. President Biden spoke earlier this afternoon saying he is grateful Mr. Trump is doing well and recovering. He also echoes his statements from yesterday, saying even if people debate or disagree, including himself and Mr. Trump, he says they cannot lose sight of who they are as Americans.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity.
The president goes on to say he was briefed by his Homeland Security team, including the director of the FBI, who is leading this investigation, the Attorney General, director of the Secret Service, and his national security advisor. So as this investigation continues, when it comes to security, President Biden says that he has tasked the Secret Service with providing any and all resource, capability, protective measure for Mr. Trump to ensure that he is as safe as possible in this time. The president also says that he is calling for an independent review investigation of last night's shooting and the security to assess how exactly we got to this point. In the meantime, we will be hearing again from the president when he speaks from the Oval Office at 8 o'clock tonight, so we'll have much more at 10 o'clock. For now, reporting live from the White House, I'm Liana Golden, 7 News.
Liana, thank you. Now, the district has seen its share of political violence in recent years, including the attack on the Capitol on January 6, 2021. On that day, Capitol Police had to protect members of Congress as well as the vice president from an angry mob. 7 News' Brad Bell speaks to one of the ranking officers from that day about the lessons that we've learned since then.
As the former chief of the United States Capitol Police Department, and before that, with a long career at D.C. Police, Steve Sund brings an experienced perspective to what happened at the Trump rally.
Now I've protected, Jimmy Carter, Bush 43, Clinton, Obama, Biden, Trump. So it's been an interesting career.
Sund was a ranking officer with the Capitol Police when in 2017, a gunman opened fire on Republican members of Congress in Alexandria as they practiced for the congressional baseball game. And he was chief on January 6, 2021, when the Capitol was stormed by rioters. He knows what the Secret Service is feeling.
I can tell you from the top all the way down to the agents in the field, they're all taking this extremely seriously. I suspect many of them didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night.
Based on his experience, Sund says there are serious questions to be asked about how the alleged shooter, Thomas Crook, was able to set up as a sniper so close to the former president, especially when the Secret Service counter-sniper teams were in place.
They're up there looking, they have the high-powered binoculars. They're up there looking specifically for any suspicious activity on rooftops. I've done 5 inaugurations. I can tell you whenever we have a presidential speech or the swearing in of a president on the west front of the Capitol or an inaugural parade, we have people on every single rooftop.
But Sund says as those answers emerge about how the former president was and will be protected, he says the real solution to ending political violence is not up to law enforcement.
We are an extremely divided country. We have to find some way to get beyond this and start acting like adults.
In Washington, Brad Bell, 7 News.
Now, as of right now, despite the assassination attempt against presumptive Republican nominee Trump, the Republican National Convention will go on as planned. The RNC kicks off tomorrow in Milwaukee. Former President Trump says he is looking forward to speaking. Trump has posted on his Truth social network twice since the attempt on his life. He'll accept the Republican presidential nomination later this week. Security details were already in place, but are expected to be heightened after Saturday's shooting. Former GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley is expected to speak at the RNC on Tuesday. Haley was Trump's chief rival in the Republican primaries. Republican leaders say that Trump's vice presidential pick will speak on Wednesday, followed by Trump on Thursday. Now, he hasn't spoken publicly since the shooting, but the former president did share his thoughts, as we mentioned, on Truth Social, once last night after being treated by a doctor and once again this morning. Today's post reads in part, "We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness. Our love goes out to the other victims and their families. We pray for the recovery of those who were wounded and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was so horribly killed." The post continues, "In this moment, it is more important than ever that we stand united and show our true character as Americans, remaining strong and determined and not allowing evil to win. I truly love our country and love you all and look forward to speaking to our great nation this week from Wisconsin." Now, 3 people were injured during the assassination attempt. 50-year-old Corey Comparatori was killed, and those who knew him say that he dedicated his life to helping others. He served as a volunteer firefighter. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro called him a hero.
Corey was an avid supporter of the former president and was so excited to be there last night with him in the community. I asked Corey's wife if it would be okay for me to share that we spoke. She said yes. She also asked that I share with all of you that Corey died a hero. That Corey dove on his family to protect them last night at this rally. Corey was the very best of us.
57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Copenhaver were also injured at the rally. All of their conditions are stable.